I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me.
No affiliation, why they faking? This ain't for debating. We the real, they really imitation. I be contemplating why this ain't on like heavy rotation on radio stations. I just pray the Lord give me patience, cause I'm running through these rappers like my name Walter Payton. Shitting on these rappers, 9 to 5 is my occupation. Raw, you come in with your best troops, you best bring more. Already told you I got the juice like Orenthal. Already know what I'm about to do, bet your men fall. Everyone know that we got the truth, all your men false. So boss, overtaking our enemies. Moves calculated and orchestrated like symphonies. Smooth operator when bringing haters to misery. Top 5 list ain't shit unless you mention me. Yeah, that's why we don't associate. Fuck niggas make them more fuck niggas. Why they procreate? Why they overhate? Cause they time is short and a moment late. Let it culminate to they heart erase and it palpitate. Cowards perpetrate like they little group is respectable. Talking intellectual, all of you homosexuals, faggots.
There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children.
I don't want to congregate. I don't want to deal with you. I don't want the fellowship. I ain't trying to build with you. Ain't the UPK, ain't the truth. Keep it real with you. Defenders of the faith, I got no problem bumping heads with you. All that bullshit, you can take it over there with you. Rather be a houseboy. Rather run with them field niggas. Show them to put in work. Move mountain, crush hills, nigga. Take a dead soul. Breathe life and make it live, nigga. No affiliation, so it's no one to compare with us. Took the Lord's laws and just added it with fear, nigga. Ain't for the body, cause you know like killer head quicker. With these bars, I'm on my grizzly, so bear witness. You spit cold, I spit flu. Don't compare sickness. You floss diamond, I floss fringes. Don't compare dentists. You PK, we men the war shit. We ain't Christian. Harm one of us, get pistol whipped like the gun got a belt with it. I'm bred different. The competition just a mill. I'm fed different. I stood front line on them fields. I bled different. I'd rather be a corpse than a coward. I'm led different. Shit, I'm led different. Come through like a juggernaut, so don't get in the way. And we take everything serious. We don't play. I wonder now what they gon' say. Shit, we make profits out of shooters like the NBA. You get slayed for switching sides, nigga. We ain't on the same page. Immaculate conception. Wow. These niggas bitch made. I'm sticking with the foundation where my bricks laid. You switch sides, I'd rather switch K's. You was never with us, nigga. Just know we won't miss you, nigga. Right hand hold the scriptures, nigga. Left hip hold the pistol, nigga. How you want it? You can get it spiritual or physics, nigga. Wrong ones to come against, so bring an army with you. No affiliation. When you see us, make the difference with us. No affiliation. When you see us, know we different, nigga. No affiliation, so no, you can't kick it with us. The wrong ones to come against, bring an army with you.
Hey, shalom, Israel, shalom, Bmore. And this is the Isupk, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are under Commanding General Yohana. You understand? If it's not under Commanding General Yohana, it is not the truth. You understand? We've been bringing this truth out since 1969, that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the true children of God. You know, the Israelites of the Bible. You understand? And the so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand?
Right.
You know what I mean? This is the biblical law class tonight. A very important class, because a lot of times you see that you know how people say when you know better you do better. You understand? Like, if we don't know what the laws of God is, how can we truly keep them?
Right.
You understand? Like, the Christian church is telling us that the laws are done away with. So why would we ever get into the scriptures? Why would we ever find out what the laws of God is? Why would we ever find out what God expects from us? You understand? Like, we never did. But now we get a chance to actually sit down, go through the scriptures, and find out what the Lord wants from us, you understand? Like, far too often, we've been conditioned that we do what we want to do, and the Lord is going to adjust to us. You understand? That's not how it works. Like, we got to do what the Lord expects from us, not what we expect from the Lord. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to get into this topic tonight, fear. You understand? Like the scriptures say, fear God. You feel me? Like, you're supposed to fear God. But a lot of times we don't. You understand? We don't fear God because we fear everybody else. We fear everybody else, but when it comes to God, we feel like we can do what we want because He's going to give us a pass. You see what I'm saying? We got to understand that we got to fear God, and when we fear God, you don't have to fear no one else. You don't have to fear nothing else. You fear God, and you fear God alone. You understand? I mean, we right now in this kingdom, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we fear the so-called white man. We fear every other nation out here. The proof is in the pudding. You understand? Like, we fear these other nations to the point where as though we're very docile when it comes to following and obeying what they tell us to do. Right now, people screaming Black Lives Matter and, buy black, and people on the premise, it seems like they're supporting black people, they're for black people. But then you go out and celebrate Thanksgiving. You understand? And then you go out and celebrate Christmas. And then you go out and celebrate so-called New Year's. You see what I'm saying? Why is that? That's because the person that we fear has told us that this is going to be a day of observance for me. You understand? This is my holiday. And on my holiday, I want you to observe it. Right. I want you to celebrate it, and I want you to spend your money and make my economy rich. You understand? And we can say, we for black people, we can say this, that, and the third. But like I said, the proof is in the pudding, you see what I'm saying? Like, you gotta actually be doers. You can't just say you love black people. You gotta be about black people. You see what I'm saying? And we fear everybody except God. You understand? Which is crazy. Like, we'll do something that we know is wrong, but then we'll say, well, God knows my heart. He knows my heart. I got a personal relationship with him, right? So because he knows my heart and I got a personal relationship, I can do all manners of wickedness, and ain't nothing gonna happen to you. But you do understand, if you walk outside your house and you do something that the so-called white man told you is illegal, you do understand that you're going to get punished for that. You do feel some sort of guilt. You feel nerves about it, at least. You understand? Not saying that brothers and sisters don't commit crimes. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, if you see that police come around, you know what they're going to do? They're going to at least try to hide it, disguise it. You see what I'm saying? Because there's a fear there. They know that there's going to be a punishment attached to whatever they're doing. But when it comes to God, like we as a nation, we have whole crab parties, crab feasts. You see what I'm saying? Like, we cook ham. We'll cook a pig, and put the apple in his mouth and roast him, and then pray to the Lord that the Lord bless it. You see what I'm saying? Like, we don't fear the Lord to the point where as though we don't have shame when we do something against him. You understand? And what it is because we don't truly fear God. But guess what? When you don't fear God, you will fear that warden. You understand? You in that prison, you're gonna fear that CO. You're gonna fear that police officer when he coming down your block. You understand? And he got his gun out drawn on you. You're gonna fear them. You see what I'm saying? But here's the thing. When you fear the Lord, you don't gotta fear none of that. You understand? You don't gotta fear none of that. You know why? Because it doesn't apply to you. You serve the Lord and do what the Lord tell you to do, and you fear the Lord the way the Lord told you to fear him, the Lord is going to protect you. The Lord is going to put a hedge around you that no man can touch you unless he authorizes it. You understand? And this is what we gotta understand, because we don't know what it is to be on the side of the Lord. We've never been on the side of the Lord, as far as we know. We've only been on the whipping, the whipping on the whipping stick side. You understand? Right. Getting beat, getting punished. You understand? But we're gonna get in the scriptures tonight. You understand? And realize, pretty much why we need to fear the Lord. You understand? And we're gonna get into some examples of when we serve the Lord and we have the proper fear for the Lord. How the Lord takes care of all of our issues. You understand? If I could, let me start in Proverbs 1:7. We're going to start there. But first I want to ask the question, like, what is fear? Like, what is fear? Anybody can take? Now, what do you think fear is? When you hear the term fear, what's the first thing? What comes to your mind?
Scared.
You scared.
Reliance to God.
Say it again.
To rely.
Go on, take your time.
Reliance to God.
You said reliance on God?
Obey to God. Obey to God.
Obedience to God.
Right.
Right. You understand? Like, fear can be defined as, an unpleasant emotion that's caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous. You understand? Likely to cause pain or a threat. You understand? That's what fear is defined as, you understand? So we're going to find out what fear is to the Lord, how we're supposed to fear the Lord, and then we're going to find out that when we fear the Lord, how we don't have to fear any other nation out there. You understand? Anybody got that? Proverbs 1:7?
Proverbs 1, verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of the knowledge.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. You understand? So when you fear the Lord, the knowledge of the Lord starts coming. You understand? That's the beginning of the knowledge of the Lord. You understand? Like, let's make that make sense for someone who's never heard that before. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Why is the fear of the Lord the beginning of knowledge? You understand? Like, what happens when you fear something? Like, if you're scared of the dark, if you're scared of a spider, if you're scared of anything in the earth, what would you do? Good.
It makes you cautious.
It makes you cautious. You understand?
Beware of it.
You start to be, you beware of it. You understand? True. But in being cautious and in being aware of it, you understand? The one thing that you got to do is you got to start to understand.
Right.
You got to start to understand why you're afraid of something. You got to start understanding, like if you're afraid of spiders, you can do the research, right? You can go on your phone and look up, how can a spider bite hurt me? So you start to understand a little bit about this spider, right? You start to understand a little bit about the damage that it can do to your body. Whether it's poisonous or not. If it bites you, how long do you got before you got to get to the hospital? You start researching, right? So when they say the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, when you fear the Lord, you get into these scriptures, man. You want to understand the mind of God. You want to understand the spirit of the Lord that He wants us to have. Because in our mind, we got to know that the Lord will kill us. You understand? We got to know that the Lord is the author of life and death. So if the Lord is the author of life and death, you feel me, and we start to fear Him, naturally we're going to say, you know what kind of character do we have? What's His laws? You understand? What do He expect of me? What do I got to do to at least be on His good side? Right? That's the beginning of knowledge. That's when you start to learn. You start to say, okay, this is the first time I picked this Bible up, man. The Lord's saying that, I ain't supposed to be smoking weed. Okay. The Lord said I can't be a homosexual. The Lord said I can't be a drug dealer or a drug user. You understand? You start to learn. You start to begin to have knowledge of the Lord. And it all started with that fear. Knowing that the Lord can take your life at any moment. Keep going.
Proverbs 1, verse 7. But fools despise wisdom and instruction.
But fools, they say, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. You understand? You have to be an absolute fool to read these scriptures and not be obedient to them. To despise the instruction that these scriptures give you. Knowing that we serve the God of the universe, you understand?
Right.
The Most High God. We serve Him. So for you to look into these scriptures and hear that the Most High said, "This is you. I don't want this for you. You can't do this." You understand? For you to just look at that and say, "Man, I'm gonna do what I want to do," you are an absolute fool. You understand? So technically, that makes the Christian church what? Christian church are fools. You know, though they esteem themselves high, you know, they got the big cars, they got the look. They look important. They look intelligent. You know, they got law degrees and all these degrees and all this nonsense, you feel me? They would appear to be intelligent, you understand? The Lord calls them fools. Why? Because they despise the instruction in it,
Right.
in this book. You understand? The Lord don't care about that degree. You see what I'm saying? The Lord don't care about your accolades from this world. The Lord cares, are you going to be obedient to what I tell you to do?
Right.
You understand? And we're going to find out why. Why is that so important? Any more on that?
Number 8. My son, hear the instructions of thy father, and forsake thee not the law and thy mother.
Yeah, see, read it again.
Verse 1, verse 8. My son, hear the instructions of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother.
I say, my son. They say, my son, hear the instruction of thy father, you understand? Like, hear what your father is teaching you, you understand? Like, every black, Hispanic, and Native American man is supposed to be this instructor that the Bible is speaking of, you understand? Every black, Hispanic, and Native American man is supposed to learn from the priest of the Lord, you understand?
Right.
And then teach his family. That's the way it's supposed to be. He said, my son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother, you understand? Now people will take this and make it seem like the woman has so much authority, right? All this is saying is, and forsake not the law of thy mother. Where did the mother get the law from? She got it from their father as well.
Right.
You understand? That man taught his woman. You understand? That's typically what happens. You have the mother who's typically at home with the kids. So as you teach her, she's teaching the kids. You understand? Like, this is all the same. Like, this is what we're supposed to be in the earth as blacks, Hispanics, and Native American men. We're supposed to be the teachers of our home. You understand? We're supposed to be the teachers of nations. Every black, Hispanic, and Native American man, you know, potential is to be a priest to the Lord. You understand? But we can't be fools. We can't be fools and read these scriptures and then despise the wisdom and instruction that comes from it. You can't go out here and teach and tell people that they ain't got to keep no laws, statutes, and commandments. That is done away with. You understand? You sending your people to slaughter. You understand? That's what happens. That's what happens when you tell a society, or I mean a nation of people, that they don't have to have a moral compass.
Right.
That they can do whatever they want to do under the sun, and the Lord's Jesus Christ's blood was shed for them, and they, you know, every sin has been forgiven already. All they got to do is accept the name of Christ. You tell people that, that's how people die. Like I keep saying, in every major, and this happens in every major black city. You understand? Here in Baltimore, in the midst of a pandemic, we still got the same numbers that we would normally have when it comes to murder. You understand? In the midst of a pandemic, when you're supposed to be in the damn house.
Right.
You understand? Like, the numbers ain't dropped. Understand? We still around the same pace, 350 to 400 murders a year. I'm quite sure if you look at the statistics from every major black city, you're going to see the same exact thing. And you know why? It's because we're forsaking the wisdom and instruction that the Most High has given us, man. You understand? We're not fearing the Most High. We're not fearing the Most High, but we are fearing our oppressor. We fearing our oppressor so even to the point that we're willing to kill each other to look real for him, to look gangster and look hard for him. You understand? And then when we get locked up, you feel me? That's when the real fear kick in. You know, you can be the hardest criminal, you can be the hardest killer. You know, brother look at you wrong, you ready to, go at him. But when you get in that prison and that your hearing come up for bail or whatnot, you talking soft as a mouse. You see what I'm saying? I'm changed. I just want to do something for the community. You understand? Like it turns the hardest killers into pussycats. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you don't fear the Lord, but you fear the oppressor. You understand? It makes us cowards, man. It makes us cowards, man. If I could drop that, let me get Proverbs 19:23. I always say, like in every hood, you understand, that's why the movie Friday was so, it really resonated with black people, because in every hood you got a depot, right? Every hood you got that one dude that's bound to knock somebody out once a week. You see what I'm saying? He do what he want, he don't live by no rules, you understand? He's a straight bully, does whatever the hell he wants to, you see what I'm saying? Every hood has one of those. You feel me? So what do dudes do when they're in the presence of someone like that? You understand? They mind their manners. They don't talk too slick then, you feel me?
Yes.
They ain't really too aggressive, you know? Crack jokes, they watch what they say out their mouth. You understand? They watch their actions, what they do, because they don't want to offend. You understand? They fear him. But imagine if we took that same mentality and we applied it to the Most High. And we say, listen, man, we ain't gonna offend him. You know, we ain't gonna cross him. We ain't gonna say this out of our mouth because we know it's gonna piss him off.
Right.
We know we ain't gonna eat that pork. We know we ain't gonna eat that crab feast, that bushel of crabs. You know what I'm saying? I know that this chick on me, you feel me? Like she game. But at the end of the day, I know she got a man. You feel me? So I ain't gonna touch her. You feel me? Because I don't want no problems with the Most High. You understand? That's what fear will do to you. You understand? You start realizing that the Most High is not to be played with. Many brothers found that out when it was too late. They found that out when that bullet hit the back of their head. You understand? When they got tortured and set on fire, hands and feet cut off. You see what I'm saying? Many people find out when it's too late. So that's why we're here warning people. You understand? We're warning our people that let's not be more statistics. You understand? Let's actually do something. We call it preventive maintenance. You understand? You know that something's on the break, you feel me? So you make sure you do what you gotta do to make sure that it's working in its proper condition. You understand? Let's do that with the Most High.
Right.
Let's not get paralyzed from the waist down before we start listening. You see what I'm saying? How about we start listening while we still can stand up and walk upright? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
How about we start listening before our kid get killed? Before our mothers and fathers and sons and daughters get killed? How about we listen before any of that happen? You understand? Like this is what we're teaching our people. You understand? Because it's happening to us. Lord don't give a damn about these other nations, but he do care about us.
Right.
And because he cares about us, this is why we suffer when we don't fear him. When we're not obedient to him. These are the things that happen in our communities, you understand? You got that? Proverbs chapter 19, verse 23.
Proverbs 19, verse 23. The fear of the Lord tendeth to life, and he that has gave it shall obey it, shall abide by it, satisfied. He shall not be visited with the evil.
There you go. They say the fear of the Lord tendeth to life, you understand? Like, you fear the Lord, you'll have life. You understand? Why is that? Like, you fear the Lord, so you start to have knowledge of the Lord, right? The wisdom of the Lord starts to kick in a little bit. That's when you know that you can talk to a woman and find out if she has a man without even asking her. You see what I'm saying? You don't ask her, hey sis, you married? You don't ask her that because they don't think that sex is marriage. You know, you gotta ask them today, you gotta say, hey listen, hey sis, you got any special friends? You got any brothers that's not by your parents? You see what I'm saying? You got any brothers you call your cousin? You see what I'm saying? Because these are the brothers that's knocking them down. You understand? Chicks say that, oh, that's just my brother. Meanwhile, he beating her guts. You see what I'm saying? That's how it happens. So the Lord gives you the wisdom to hear. The Lord gives you the wisdom to understand that when you ask this woman this question, you feel me? You listen for the context clues to realize that she's married to somebody, even if she don't think she is. So you better not touch her.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
And when you don't touch that woman, guess what? The Lord will give you life, man. You ain't got to worry about a brother creeping up on you, blowing your head up because you touched this woman. You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to live with that fear.
Right.
You understand? Like, that's what it means when they say the fear of the Lord tendeth to life. You understand? Understand? And say, he that have it shall abide satisfied. Like, you'll be satisfied with the life you're living. You understand? We all been in the world. We all been in the world and been in situations where, or had time periods where, whether you beefing because of something you did or whatever you have it, you know, you gotta have your head on the swivel. You see what I'm saying? You know that you got people out there who want to see you fall. So you gotta watch. You gotta move a certain way. You know, the paranoia can get real. You looking over your shoulder and you watching for, you know, what car is that, man? Why that car circled that block 2 times already? Anybody know that? Anybody know that car? Why you creeping up here and it got tinted windows? You see what I'm saying? Like, that paranoia. You can't live a satisfied life when your every moment is looking over your shoulder. You see what I'm saying? The Lord say, look, check this out. And he that have it shall abide. You had the fear of the Lord and you'll abide satisfied. Your life will be, you'll be able to live satisfied because you know you ain't did no dirt, right? When you know you ain't did no dirt, you ain't gotta look over your shoulder. I'm not saying nothing can't happen to you, but when you know that you ain't did nothing, you don't have that stress of who coming. I know somebody coming. And I done hit this man's wife. I know the husband coming sooner or later. And if the husband don't get me, the Lord gonna find a way to get somebody else to get me. You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't have that in your mind when you have proper fear of the Lord. Because the Lord had already told you, man, vet this woman before you touch her. You see what I'm saying? Like, she ain't single. She thinks she's single, but she married. You understand? Not only she married to that brother, man, she got some other stuff going on, man. Because she's sleeping with main man too. Like, but the Lord, because he gives you this wisdom, because you had the fear of him. You understand? You had fear of him, and then you started growing your knowledge of him. Now the wisdom is starting to, he's starting to depart wisdom on you. You understand? You come into the Isupk, man, you talking to brothers, you got a situation you may not understand, right? All you got to do is talk to one of the brothers in here.
Right.
Somebody going to understand the situation you're in and give you the best counsel you've ever heard in your life. You understand? Wisdom will be departed upon you. This is what happens when you fear the Lord, man. Keep going. Matter of fact, read it from the top again.
Verse 19, verse 28. The fear of the Lord tendeth to
No,
life.
chapter 19 and verse 23.
Chapter 19, 23. The fear of the Lord tendeth to life. And he that hath giveth it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil.
He shall not be visited with evil. You understand? Like, this is the whole point of it. You fear the Lord, you won't be visited with evil. You don't fear the Lord, you're going to get visited with evil. You understand? You got the Carter. You running the Carter right now. You understand? You got to expect either the other dealer's going to run up in your joint, or the law going to run up in your joint. You see what I'm saying? You're going to be visited with the evil when you don't fear the Lord. Like when you have the proper fear of the Lord, man, and you seek the Lord, you understand? Like, you ain't gotta be so nervous and so scared of every damn thing, you understand?
Right.
Like, you ever wonder why so many people getting shot and killed in the hood? Because dudes are out here scared. Dudes are out here, they are literally scared, man. Like, it come off like they hard, like they tough, you know what I mean, because they've been banging that joint, you understand? But they banging that joint because they scared. You understand? They can't, like, not condoning none of it, you feel me? But they scared to death of a fist fight. You understand? Like, they scared to death of a fist fight, a one-on-one fist fight. It's like a traumatic experience. So they go to the guns, man. They go to the guns. We emulating everything that we see around us from these other nations, you understand? We're trying to be like them. We fear them. You understand? We fear them so much that we want to be like them. You understand? What's the black that black group that was carrying AKs and ARs? Was it Antifa or something like that?
No, they weren't Antifa. Salaki. I know they were. I think it was affiliated with the Black Panther, something like that.
You know which ones I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Where
the
the
ones
sisters marching with them?
Yeah, down at they were was it Stone Mountain where the KKK they went up there to.
Yeah, they was just marching. They was marching different places,
Right.
And they had all the ARs, and they had women marching with them.
Yeah.
You understand? I remember General Hyman brought out a great point. Like, the sister shot 3 brothers. They was marching, and she shot 3 brothers accidentally. You understand? Which means her gun was off of safety, and her finger. You know, when you hold a gun, you're never supposed to have your gun on your finger on the trigger anyway. You're supposed to have it straight. Your finger should never be on the trigger.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Your finger should be off the trigger. It should be in a safety position, and it should be down, especially if you're marching. Her safety was off. Her hand was on the trigger, and she got it in a position in which she's marching and got the gun pointed at other people. She shot 3 people in front of her, 3 brothers in front of her. You understand?
So the bullet went through 3 people.
Or she shot 3 times. One or the other. She shot 3 of them. But you know what? It resembles the United States military. You know why? Like General Hyman said, that's what they call friendly fire. You understand? We want to be like them so bad, even to the point where as though the same way they kill each other, we shoot and kill each other the same way. You understand? We fear them so much that we emulate everything that they do. You understand? Imagine if we feared God with that same fear.
Right.
And we emulated everything He wanted us to do. We'll be ruling this earth, literally. You see what I'm saying? Come. Like, we would literally be ruling this earth if we had the same fear that we have for our oppressor towards the Most High. And that's where the problem lies. We don't fear the Most High. We fear everybody else. And because we fear everybody else, what the Lord tell us to do, that's not what we do. You understand? Like, that's where we at as a nation, man. Let me get Proverbs 10 and 27. Brother Kashaw. You can read it when you got it.
Okay. Proverbs 10, chapter 27.
No, chapter 10, verse 27.
Chapter 10, verse 27.
There you go.
The fear of the Lord prolong the days, but the years of the wicked shall be shortened.
And say, the fear of the Lord prolongs your days, you understand? It say, but what that second part say?
But the years of the wicked shall be shortened.
But the years of the wicked shall be shortened, you understand? Like, this is what happens. Like, when you fear the Lord, your life will be prolonged, you understand? You'll live longer because you're doing what the Lord told you to do. The Lord sets a hedge of protection over us when we do what He tells us to do. You understand? Like, it's simple. Like, when we fear the Lord and do what the Lord tells us to do, we live. When we don't, we become wicked. Just said that the wicked, their days are not going to be long, you understand? That's why you see brothers and sisters dying at age 25, 26, 30. You see what I'm saying? Like, every black, Hispanic, and Native American man, woman, and child, you understand, should have a realistic vision to die at an old age, you understand? Every parent should have every black, Hispanic, and Native parent should have the idea that they're going to be buried by their children. You understand? That's not what happens in our communities, man. It's the opposite way now. Like, like right now, you have parents burying their children. It should never be like that. You understand?
Right.
Read that from the top, from here. Somebody come in.
The fear of the Lord prolongeth days, but the years of the wicked shall be shortened.
The fear of the Lord prolongeth days, but the years of the wicked shall be shortened. This is what happened, man. Like, our life expectancy is not nowhere close to what it should be.
Right.
Like, what's the life expectancy of a black male? Listen, ain't it like 40 something? Whew.
I think it went down. I mean,
The 30s, 35.
35?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I know back in the day it was even, you know, it was younger than that. Like, you know, you made 21, they was considered you an OG. You feel me? You was a vet nigga. Go ahead, Dr.
I mean, Salakia, but it looks like it's turning back to that day again, because I don't see
Yeah.
nothing but, 16, 21-year-olds,
Yeah.
murders, charges, and,
Right.
saying like back in the day, I don't be saying like 40 and 30. You see little sprinkles, but it's mostly the young kids.
Yeah, the
16.
majority of it, they young, man.
Yep, 16 to 25 or
You get to 25 right now, you in the streets, you get to 25, like, you on borrowed time.
right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, brothers don't expect to live past 19 and 20. You see what I'm saying? Because you understand the life you live. You taking life, so you expect yours to get took. You see what I'm saying? And that's exactly what the scriptures are saying, man. Say, when you fear the Lord, you're not going to be a part of that lifestyle, you understand? Which means your life is going to get prolonged. They say, but the wicked, their days are cut short, man. It's cut short for that very reason. Like, it ain't no magic trick to it or nothing like that. It's simple. You know, you go out here and you live a lifestyle contrary to the one the Most High gave you, you're going to suffer the consequences of that lifestyle, man. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's cause and effect. But we all understand that the Most High is behind it all.
Right.
The Most High is behind all of that. That hedge of protection, you don't have no more. Like, the worst thing that can happen to a black man, you understand, is for the Lord to not be with him. Like, as a sidebar, remember reading about King Saul. And we're gonna get more into that story tonight as well. But King Saul, when he The Lord told him to go into the city of the Amalekites. He told him to destroy everything, men, women, children, cattle, anything that breathes, I want it dead.
Right.
And he did not obey the orders. He did not fear the Lord to the point where as though he obeyed that order. You understand? He did not fear the Lord. Because if Debo will tell you to do something, guess what you're going to do? You're going to do it. Debo will tell you, I want you to walk down the street. I mean, the Lord, first of all, the Lord is telling us to do something righteous. That bully in the neighborhood going to tell us to do something unrighteous, and guess what we're going to do? We still going to do it. I want you to go in that store, man. I want you to rob that store and bring me back all the money. Don't bring me back all that money. You got a problem with me. Typically, the brother's going to go down there. He's going to rob that store because he don't want no problems with Debo, you know? But when the Lord when the Lord sent us to do certain things, he sent King Saul to destroy these people, to destroy the cattle. Because he didn't have that fear in him. He did not. And the Lord ripped his kingdom from him. He became a madman after that, you understand? Because he couldn't reach the Lord the same way he once could. Do you know the feeling the feeling of that, knowing that you can't even pray confidently, you understand? Like right now, we've been given the opportunity to return back to the Lord, man. We've been given a chance to return back to the Most High. When we get on our knees and we pray to the Lord, man, and we send prayers to the skies, you understand? And we know that we're doing what we're supposed to do. We understand that the Lord is receiving these prayers, you understand? It says it's like a sweet aroma. When a sinner repents, you know, for his ways and cries out to the Lord, his prayers are like a sweet aroma to the Lord, you understand? But imagine when the Lord don't even want to hear your prayers, man. Imagine that feeling. And you know it in your mind. Man, I'm out here doing X, Y, and Z. I know the Lord don't hear me pray right now. That's a horrible feel. That's a horrible place to be in. You understand? You better cry out and fast and do whatever you got to do. You see what I'm saying? Come to the priests and prophets in the Isupk, you understand? And you know, get counsel. Whatever you got to do it. You understand? But this is why we're in the positions we're in right now. Because so many of us, we celebrate these holidays, and we're doing everything the Lord told us not to do. But when something goes wrong, we sending prayers up to the Lord. We sending prayers up to the Lord. Guess what? The Lord has rejected it.
Right.
The Lord has literally rejected the prayer. Like, I don't care what's going on in their life. I don't care who got shot. I don't care who got hypertension. I don't care who on their deathbed. You praying for them, I can't hear your prayer. You understand? That's a horrible place to be in, man. This is why this class in the Isupk is so important, man, because this is the only safe haven for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in this earth. You know what I'm saying? It's the Isupk. You come into the Isupk, man, and you do what you're supposed to do. You understand? You learn to battle yourself. You learn to battle yourself, man. You do that, this is a safe haven for you. You can rest assured that, I'm not saying you're not going to get tested. But what I am saying is the Lord going to have that hedge of protection over you. You understand? Whereas you don't walk down the street thinking that, man, I might get shot in the back of my head today. You understand? You don't have those type of thoughts. Don't get it twisted. You don't become green to the point where you don't act like nothing can happen to you. But you understand, I'm trying to serve the Lord, you feel me? And because I'm serving the Lord and I got the proper fear for the Lord, I don't expect nothing to happen to me. You understand? Like that's how we supposed to operate, man. When you serve the Lord. If I could, let me get Proverbs 8 and 13.
Proverbs, ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Proverbs 8 and and 13. The fear of the Lord is with the hate evil.
The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, man. Like when you have fear of the Lord, we read it earlier, what happens? When you have fear of the Lord, what does the Lord give you? What is the beginning of?
Knowledge.
It's the beginning of knowledge, right?
Right.
So when you fear the Lord, you begin to have knowledge of the Lord. You begin to have knowledge of His laws, statutes, and commandments. You begin to have knowledge of what you should be doing, what you should not be doing, right? So then they say the fear of the Lord is to hate evil, right? You know why you hate evil when you fear the Lord? Because now that you've obtained this knowledge from the Lord, and this wisdom is starting to be departed unto you, you start to understand what pleases Him and what doesn't. You understand? And when you have the proper fear of anyone, you want to do what's pleasing to them. Right? When your son is a child, when your daughter is a child, you understand? And hopefully until they're, grown adults, they have a fear of their father, you understand? To ways though they always want to impress their father. They always want to do the right things and be the good one in front of them. You see what I'm saying? So when you find out what he likes, you start to do it. You know what I'm saying? When your children find out, okay, this makes my father happy, they start to do that. You understand? When they also realize what my father hates, guess what? They begin to hate it as well. This is how we gotta be in regards to the Most High. You understand? They say the fear of the Lord is to hate evil, man. You fear the Lord and you know the Lord so much, so well now, that when you hear, you can, it's like you can smell evil. You see what I'm saying? You can sense it around you, feel me? You hate it. You see the oppression of our people, and you see the evil that's been allowed to come into our communities, you understand? We have to hate that evil, you understand? We got to be extreme in how we hate that evil, because they were extreme in bringing it to our communities. They were extreme in putting us in this condition. They were extreme into doing these things against the Lord. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So we got to be extreme in hating it. We got to be extreme in obeying the Most High. You understand? Because what happens when you're not extreme with, what happens when you're not extreme with evil things? You understand? What happens then? The one thing that they always say about Isupk is it's the perception that we go too hard. You see what I'm saying? Y'all brothers go hard out there, you feel me? Y'all going a little too hard for me. We hear that. Why do we have to go so hard? Why do you think we have to go so hard? What's the lesson behind that?
Bringing the fear of God.
Bringing the fear of God, okay. You go ahead, so.
We bring in to show oppression.
Come.
You know what I'm saying? To show that, oppression makes a wise man mad.
It shows oppression. But remember the scriptures also say, a little leaven will leaven the bunch.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You bring a small piece of sin into a situation, and if it's not checked, you understand? If it's not put out, it's going to continue to fester, and it's going to grow, and it's going to grow, and it's going to grow, to the point where as though you're not going to be able to recognize yourself, because this sin has become so great that it started multiplying other sins to it. You understand? This is what you see in the Christian church. You see what I'm saying? You allow one sin to fester, now you got to allow all of them to fester. You see what I'm saying? You say a person can be a homosexual because a person is free to love whoever they want to love, right? Okay, so if a person is free to be that way, what's the problem you sleeping with another man's wife? You know, both of them supposed to be against the Lord. How can you allow one thing and then say something when I'm doing it? You see what I'm saying? That's why the scripture says, if you break one of my commandments, the least of them, you've broken them all. You see what I'm saying? That's why Isupk, that's why we go so hard, man. Because a little leaven leavens the bunch. You see sin and you let it go. You said, nah, that wasn't nothing. And you begin to let it, you ignore it. Trust me, it's going to grow. That's when sin is one of those things that it can enter your spirit, it can enter your life so quick, and it will take a lifetime to get out. You know what I'm saying? You will battle with it and think that you done got over it and think that it's gone, and next thing you know, as soon as you put your sword down, you think that you didn't arrive, you see what I'm saying? It pops right back up.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's why we don't let it fester. That's why we have to go hard, man. That's why we gotta go hard. Because all these vices that's been placed in our community, that's been placed on our people, you feel me? They went hard and putting it on us, man. You understand? This is why we go hard and we fear the Lord. This is why we fear the Lord, because we understand that if we don't fear him the way he said to be feared, not only will he take my life, he'll take my child's life. He'll take my rib's life. You understand? He'll take all of us away from this place. You understand? Like, that's the God we serve. We don't serve a homosexual, you feel me? Who say, you just gotta love me. But you're free to love anybody and you can do whatever you want to do as long as you believe in me. We don't serve that kind of God. You understand? We serve a powerful God that say, listen, if you don't do what I say, if you don't fear me, I'm going to show you why you should. You understand? Like, we ain't got the message yet. Like, we haven't got the message yet. Like, you got so many quote-unquote pro-black people, revolutionists, you understand? Rebels for the cause. And they celebrating Christmas, man. They buying gifts and dressing up with Santa Claus hats on their head. You see what I'm saying? They preparing right now to celebrate New Year's Eve, you understand? They just went and probably bought all the damn bullets in the store so they can shoot the gun in the air, you feel me? That's why the Lord say, like, he'll prolong your days, man, when you fear him. You don't fear him, guess what? You're going to catch one of them bullets that they send up in the air because they got to come down. You understand? Them bullets don't disappear in the air.
Yeah.
They falling somewhere. Somebody going to get killed. And unfortunately, that's just what happens, especially in every major black city, man.
Yeah.
Every single year. You know why? We don't have no morale, man. We've been told we ain't got to keep no law. We've been told that the laws are done away with, you feel me?
Right.
So I can shoot some bullets in the air and let it hit somebody when it comes down, you feel me? But I believe in God. I believe in his name. So everything I just did is A-OK. Because he's paid for my sin. This is the lie of the Christian church, man. You understand? This is why we got to be extreme. This is why we got to be extreme in how we serve the Lord, man. How we fear the Lord. That's why it's so important. But good, let me get Psalms 118:6. Any questions online, Dr. Zoe? No comments or nothing like that?
Psalms, chapter 118.
Hold on one second, Eric.
Do I go? How do I check that?
Say it again.
How do I check it on here?
Ain't on there.
Nah, cause
You might have to pull it up on your phone or something, right?
Okay.
When they do it, but it's something crazy we have sometimes with the computer. Go ahead, Eric. You go ahead.
Chapter 118, verse 6. The Lord is my own
Okay.
and will not fear. What can you do unto me?
Say, the Lord is on my side, I will not fear. What can man do to me? You understand? Like, that's the attitude that we truly should have, you understand? Like, when we fear the Lord, and we know that the Lord is on our side, if that's truly the case, who can be against us? Who can be against you? Like, your oppressor does not have the power to be against you, especially when the Lord is on your side. You understand? Like, this is the, I always like likening it back to the neighborhood, just because I know we've all experienced it, we've all been through it. You see what I'm saying? Debo tell you, man, listen, I got your back. Anybody play with you, anybody look at you wrong, you see what I'm saying? Anybody say something, stick up their mouth, and check this, they got a problem with me. You know what I mean? You walk around with a sense of, man, I ain't got no problems. You see what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got no problems. The baddest dude on my side. Who won it? Who want the smoke? You see what I'm saying? That's how you feel. That's how you feel when you got the baddest dude in the hood riding with you. You see what I'm saying? But this the Most High God right here. This the Most High God, the God of the universe. You understand? And if he's riding with you because you fear him, what can a man do to you? What can any soul do to you? You see what I'm saying? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing but get crushed. You see what I'm saying? Read it from the top, right?
Psalm 118, verse 6. The Lord is on my side. I will not fear him. What can I do unto me? What can I do unto me?
And that's real, man. When the Lord, what can man do unto me? You understand? Like, what can a man do unto you? You know? Here's the thing, like, when we serve the Lord in the Bible, these other nations called the Most High the Terrible. That was his nickname, the Terrible. Because they understood that if you mess with this nation of people, these Israelite people, their God will kill you. Their God don't play about them. You see what I'm saying? Like, these other nations knew that. They actually nicknamed the Most High the Terrible, man. He ain't no joke. The only people, the people that play with him is us. We the ones thinking that he a sucker, that he weak, that you can do what you want to do and he just gonna let it slide. You see what I'm saying? Like, you scared of your own, you scared of your supervisor at the job, but you'll play with God. You see what I'm saying? Like, it don't make no sense. And all it comes from is, who do you fear? Who do you really fear? Because when you fear the Most High, you don't play with him. You do not play with him. You do not give him a reason to put you to death. Right. Or your child. You understand? You don't give him that reason. But when you love the oppressor, you know, you're going to give the Lord many reasons. Then you're going to wonder why, you know, your loved one who had no health problems, who jogs, you know, 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 miles a day, and ride bikes and is, you know, eat nothing but carrots while they sitting in the hospital with cancer. That's when you'll realize, you understand, that we serve the most high God of the universe. And if we don't fear him, he will kill us. You understand? That's how it goes. You can drop that. Let me get, I'm gonna get this story, let's go to Genesis 22 and 12 real quick. Brother Kasha. So like, not so you mind reading this one for me, brother Bishop?
Come.
Go on.
Genesis chapter 22, verse 12. And he said, lay not thy hand upon thy lap, neither do thou anything unto him.
Matter of fact, if you could, let's jump up to verse 9.
Verse 9.
Yeah.
Genesis chapter 22, verse 9. And they came to the place which God had told him of. And Abraham built an altar there and laid the wood in order, and bound Isaac his son, and laid him on the altar upon the wood.
You know what I'm saying? Just a quick backdrop. This is the story of when Abraham, he was told to take his son Isaac up into the hills. You understand? He was told he was going to make a sacrifice of him. You understand? Like I don't know how many people have kids. You understand? But like what the Lord is asking him to do, it's like it's something like it's tremendous in the sense that how many people would have done it? You take your own son and you bind him, you take him up and get ready to slaughter him. You understand? How many people really fear the Lord to the point where as though you can actually say, you know what, I'm going to still do what he tells me to do, even if I don't understand it. This is the faith and the fear that you got to put into the Most High to understand that hedge of protection that he speaks of is real. Sometimes it's going to get tested to the fire, though, you know. Can you read, Brother Bishop?
And Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to slay his son. Verse 11. And the angel of the Lord called unto him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here am I.
Yeah, so he already took the knife out, right? He got his son on the altar of wood. He done took the knife out. He ready to get to go to work. You know what I'm saying? The angel called out, Abraham, Abraham. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is like put yourself in this story. You understand? For any brother or sister with kids, put yourself in this story.
Right. It's a rough.
It's a rough one. You understand? Like that's an understatement. You know, you about to put a blade on your own kid. Nothing wrong with him. Nothing wrong. He's completely healthy. You're doing it just because the Lord told you to, right? That's the real fear of the Lord. You understand? What did Abraham have? What did Abraham have that a lot of us didn't have? You understand? We understand he's called father of the faithful. This is the proper fear that the Lord, that Abraham had for the Most High, man. And I say that because it's like, hold on one second. I say that because the fear that he had of the Most High, he had an immense amount of knowledge of the Most High. He had wisdom in regards to dealing with the Most High, you understand?
Right.
To where as though all of this stuff came into play in order for him to do what he was about to do. You understand? Like all of this came into play. But let's keep reading.
Verse 11. And the angel of the Lord called unto him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here am I. Verse 12. And he said, Lay not thy hand upon thy lad, neither do thou anything unto him. For now I know that thou fearest God, seeing that thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, from me.
Most High said, the angel said, for now, this is the words of the Most High though. For now I know that thou fearest God, you understand? Abraham feared the Lord, you understand? He feared the Most High. Most High put him to the test. But he understood, the Most High understood that Abraham feared him. Meaning what? Abraham had knowledge of him. Abraham understood what it was that he may not have understood the intention, but he understood when you understand the Most High and you have wisdom of the Most High. When there's something that you don't understand, in that very moment, you rely on your obedience to him. For instance, when you have a child, right? I like to use this example. When you have a child and you give your child a direct order, right? They may not understand it. You can see it all in their face. But because they know you, they know that their father loves them, right? You expect them to do what you told them to do, even if they don't understand. I'll explain it to you later, if I ever explain it to you. You see what I'm saying? You be obedient to the word of the Lord, you understand? You be obedient to the Most High. And that's how you show the proper fear of the Lord. You understand? Like right now, I know Officer Natazar. So if Officer Natazar move a certain way and I don't understand it, because I know him and I know how he moves, you see what I'm saying? I'm rocking with him. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I ask him later, like, hey, what was that? Like, why you do that? He say, man, I couldn't say that right now because I was in this situation, I seen this coming, I ain't really had time to communicate with you. But what would have happened if I questioned him? Hey, what do you mean, sir? Should I be doing this, sir? I need you to break this down for. He don't have time in that moment to do that. You see what I'm saying? He just needs my obedience. You see what I'm saying? When he gets the obedience, you can get the understanding later. Abraham is going to get the understanding of just what happened. But at the end of the day, when you fear the Lord, you know that all things are going to work to good for those who love him. You understand? Abraham knew that his son, even if the Lord took him then, his son was going to be back in his earth. That's what people don't understand. Abraham knew that. How did he know that? Because he was serving the Most High.
Right.
He was doing exactly what the Most High told him to do. And because he was doing what the Most High told him to do, he understood that even if it was something extreme as taking the life of your own son, he understood that the Most High was going to make it work for the good because he loved him. You understand? Right. Like this is the type of fear that we gotta have for the Most High. Abraham passed that test, man. Are we passing our test? That's the question. Whatever test we have, are we passing it? Or is it reoccurring in our life? You see what I'm saying? And if it's reoccurring, what do we gotta do to get past that hurdle? What do we gotta do? What do we gotta do in order to allow our story to be something that brothers read about years from now? You see what I'm saying? Like that's the mindset we gotta have. You're only gonna get that mindset when you fear the Lord, man. You start having knowledge of the Lord and the Lord start imparting that wisdom unto you. You understand? Any more on that?
That's it, sir.
Let me get let's go to so that's right there, that's one example of when a man feared the Lord, the way the Lord expects you to fear him, how the Lord will make a situation that seems dire. He'll turn it around and make it work in your favor. You understand? We have to understand that because a lot of time we don't fear the Lord, though we may have a zeal to serve the Lord. If we don't have the proper fear of the Lord, you understand, we're bound to repeat the same mistakes over and over and over again.
Right.
We won't come out of the same things that's kept us in a certain position and condition, you understand? But we gotta understand that sometimes you gotta step out there, man. You got to step out there. When you go to council, and one of the generals or one of the captains give you an order, and you sitting there like, yo, that don't make sense. Like, yo, I didn't explore every angle of this situation. You feel me? What he just told me don't make sense. In that very moment, you know what you should do? Fear the Lord and just do what the general or the captain told you to do. You see what I'm saying? Because this is the Lord departing of wisdom unto you. You understand? You got a Lord knowledge, but now the Lord is delivering the wisdom from the men above you. You see what I'm saying? Listen to it. Grow from it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? If you knew the answers to your own problem, you wouldn't have needed counsel. You see what I'm saying? You'd have fixed it yourself. But we can't. We can't fix all our own problems. That's what the brotherhood is for. That's what the council is for. You understand? Like, that's what it's set up to be.
Right.
Most High understood that. But we don't understand it because we don't fear the Lord. When we don't fear the Lord, man, we can't tap into this brotherhood. We can't tap into the true spirit of the Most High, man, when we don't fear him. But just imagine if we do. Just imagine, it'd be a sight to behold if we really put our spirit back on the way the Most High requires it of us. You understand? If I could, let me get, and right now we're just going through just a few examples of brothers who, by them fearing the Lord, they was able to come out of situations that most men would faint if they were put in the same positions. You understand? Most men would fail some of these lessons, but because these men and these stories that we're reading right now, because they did it before us, they did it so we can learn from it. This is how you fear the Lord. This is the patience. I mean, this is the faith you have to have in the Most High. When you fear the Lord a certain way and you do what he tell you to do and you're obedient to his word, this is what happens. You understand? This is what the Most High is showing us right now. If I could, let me get Genesis 3 and 8.
Genesis.
Matter of fact, start at verse 6. Sure.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also to her husband with her, and he did eat.
Just a backdrop, this is the story of Adam and Eve when they sinned against the Lord. You understand? Like, when they say that the tree was good for food, and she took of the fruit thereof and did eat and gave it to her husband, all it's talking about is the cultures of these other nations.
Right.
Eve took on the culture of these and the spirit of these other nations. You understand? She feared these nations more than she feared the Most High. And guess what? She caused her husband to do the same thing. You understand? Because Adam, he felt weak. So that's another lesson. You fall weak under your woman, you feel me? You're going to realize you're not going to fear the Lord no more. You're going to fear anyone she fears. You understand? You're going to take on that same demon, that same spirit that she got. You see what I'm saying? But you won't fear the Lord in that moment. Keep going, brother, sure.
Verse 7. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked.
It say, and the eyes of both of them were open, and they knew that they were naked. You understand? You don't listen. Keep going.
And they saw, and they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons.
Like when they say, and the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked. How were they naked? Yeah, were they literally naked?
No. There was
just for time's sake, they were exposed, you understand? They were exposed, you understand? Like they committed a sin against the Lord. And in that very moment, they realized that they sinned against the Most High. They were exposed. The shame of what they had did was visible and present within. You understand? Like, if I can make it, if I can bring it to today, you see what I'm saying? That'll be a brother who claiming to be an Israelite, claiming to follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You understand? You know, you catch him with a Christmas hat on, passing out gifts and singing Christmas tunes. You see what I'm saying? And when he get caught, he's naked. Like, we speak like that to this day, you feel me? Like, you out here naked, you see what I'm saying? Like, you out here without no protection. You understand? Like, that's what it was. They didn't have no protection at that point. They were exposed. They exposed themselves. That's how they were naked, you understand? Keep going. Verse 9, Buck Michelle. No, Salaki, verse 8.
Verse 8, and they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden.
It is, right? They're hiding themselves, you understand? Right now, because they feared the other nations and they took on their culture, and they did not fear the Most High, now they're fearing them because they know it's a consequence that's coming with it. You understand? Now they're trying to run and they're going deeper into these other cultures. You understand? When they say they try to hide, you know, how I say it? They say they hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. You feel me? All this is saying is this is every time a black man becomes a Muslim. You understand? Every time a black man becomes a 5%er, Kemet. You understand? All these other cultures, they start to hide themselves in this other culture, man. And they start doing what these other nations start to do. That's what Adam and Eve essentially did. You understand? So when you don't fear the Lord, this is what happens. When you don't fear the Lord, a lot of times when we mess up, instead of us just saying, listen, Salaki, I messed up. I mean, and we getting on our knees and praying and returning back to the Most High. A lot of times we don't do that. You know what we do? We run. We run. We feel the nakedness. We feel the shame. So I'd rather go deep into the culture I was just caught in than come before my brothers and say, damn, I messed up. You see what I'm saying? That's typically what happens to brothers who say that they're in the truth. You see what I'm saying? The pride of life gets into them. Instead of you crawling back and saying, Salaki, man, I fell and I fell hard, but I'm going to keep fighting and I'm going to keep getting up and I'm going to keep coming to the school, even though I know I just messed up. Instead of saying that, you know what they do? They go deep into the world, you feel me? Mm-hmm. That's why you'll see a brother that's a full-fledged Israelite today, and in 2 weeks or 2 months, he's a full-fledged Muslim. You understand? And 3 months after that, he's a full-fledged Christian. You see what I'm saying? All he's doing is he's hiding himself amongst the other trees in the garden, you feel me? Amongst the other nations and their cultures. That's what he's hiding himself in the midst of, you understand? Like, that's what happens when we don't fear the Lord, man. We lose our way. We lose our way, man. We lose our train of thought. We lose our direction in life, man. We don't have a purpose. As a black man, if you're not serving the Lord, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. Like, what else is there to do? You see what I'm saying? Like, outside of that, you're just slaving. You become the best slave you can be. You see what I'm saying? But here in Isupk, man, we free men. You understand? We not here to be no slave.
Right.
You understand? We're not here because we want to be equal to nobody.
Right.
We're here because we want to rule this earth with our king. You understand? Yahweh under the Most High. You understand? That's why we're here. You understand? And it's like, when you don't fear the Lord, that's the spirit that comes on, brothers, man. That prideful spirit, where you feel like you can't even go back to your brothers, man, and make a truce with your brothers. You understand? Who raised you, who saved your life at one point, who fed you, who clothed you. You understand? The Most High who breathed life into your body, who revealed himself to you. You understand? When you don't fear him, you turn your back on all of that. And for what? So you can be the best spoken Christian? It means absolutely nothing, you feel me? For you to be the most prayingest Muslim and get the little black thing on your head? Like, what do you do it for? Like, what do you sell your soul for? You understand? This is what we got to realize, man, when we don't fear the Lord, right? You think the Lord said that, you think we as a people, we think that the Lord tells us to fear him the same way somebody on the street would tell us to fear him. No, us fearing the Lord is far more important and dangerous than somebody on the street. You understand? Like the scriptures say, don't fear him that can kill the body. Fear him that can kill the body and the spirit. You understand? Like, that's the Most High we serve. It's a very, very dangerous game to play with the Most High. It's a very, very dangerous game to play with him, man, and don't fear him. You understand? It's like, again, this is what we've been taught to do, though. We play Russian roulette. We play Russian roulette with the Most High, you understand? And don't understand that at any moment, that bullet gonna be in that chamber. You see what I'm saying? And then we don't learn the lessons as a nation. Like, we don't understand that it's because of what we're doing in opposition to the Most High. It's because we're not fearing him that you still have 350 murders in Baltimore City in the midst of a damn global pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Like how many people? How many beefs must you be in during the midst of a pandemic? I mean, like, how much beefing is really going on when you're supposed to be in a house? You know, I don't know, man. It's like when we fear the Most High, you see the blessings that come from it. If I could, I ain't gonna turn to it just for time's sake, but I was wanted to bring out, David and Goliath, the story of David and Goliath. Everyone knows that story.
Right.
You understand? But a lot of times people don't understand the details of the story. You understand? David wasn't the big brother. Like, what we know King David as of now, that's not the reputation he had at that time period. You understand? David had brothers. He had big brothers. He was the young brother, the shepherd. You see what I'm saying? Anybody who had any sense of anything would have chosen his other brothers before they chosen him. You understand? Goliath, old Hamite Philistine, standing 7-8 foot tall.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they be, like, just tall for no reason. You feel me? Tall and clumsy. You feel me? But he was a warrior, who took many men's lives. You understand? Like, he was a killer. The army of Israel was afraid. Under Saul's command, you understand? This shows you how when you don't have the proper fear, your lack of when you don't fear the Lord, it not only affects you, it affects everybody close to you. You understand? It affects everybody that everybody that you're supposed to be responsible for. It affects them too. You understand? We come to understand that Saul didn't have a proper fear for the Most High. The whole Israelite army was afraid of Goliath. You understand? He challenged our God. He called us out as a nation. He was a heckler. You feel me? I mean, he was chopping it up, running his mouth. You feel me? Talking real slick, getting real fresh in the mouth. You understand? With the nation of Israel. You see what I'm saying? That's what he was doing. But then you had this little shepherd boy. This little shepherd boy he was on no one's radar, who stepped up and say, "You disrespected the God of Israel? You disrespected my God? That's how you feel?" David wasn't playing no games with him. David actually had a fear of the Lord, you understand? He had a fear of the Lord, which means he had knowledge of the Lord. He understood that if the Lord is for me, who can be against me? You disrespected my God? That's how you feel? I'll fight him. Straight like that. I'm going to get with him. You see what I'm saying? No, David, you too small, man. It's a skilled warrior. He even talking about, I'm gonna feed you to the birds. I'm gonna feed you to the fowls of the air. You understand? David ain't even have a sword. You understand? Now, this is what we gotta understand. When we have the proper fear of the Most High, when we fear the Most High the way He told us to, I don't care what the situation is. I don't care how dire it looks. When you fear the Lord, guess what? The Lord will allow you to prevail, and for everybody to see it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It won't be a hidden thing. Man, something different about you, man. Like, I ain't never seen you in this position, yo. Mm-hmm. Like, you getting it right now, you feel me? Mm-hmm. That's what you gonna hear brother say. David ain't even lift the sword, right? We understand he took a rock and with the slingshot and hit him, and then took his sword and cut his head off with it. You see what I'm saying? The whole Israelite army seen that. Guess who else seen it? The whole Philistine army, they seen it as well. You understand? This is what happens when we fear the Lord, man. When we fear the Lord stands with us. He puts a hedge of protection over us, you understand? And He'll have our enemies to be a footstool to us, you understand? But when we don't fear Him, we remain in the condition that we're in right now. We're the footstool to every other nation right now. We're on the bottom of the totem pole no matter where you go at the earth. You understand? It's nothing but death and destruction in our communities. And the reason for it being is we've never been taught to fear the Lord, man. But we're going to learn today. Right. We're going to learn from the Isupk, man. We got to fear the Lord, man. And when we fear the Lord, that's the whole duty of man. Let me get the last scripture, bro. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and 13.
12 and 13.
Come.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
Here it is, laid out. Real simple and plain, right?
Right.
At the end of the day, this is the conclusion of every experience you have in your life. Anything you go through in your life, you understand? This is the conclusion of it all right here. Of the whole matter. Fear God, man. Fear God. You understand? Get to know God, you understand? Allow the wisdom of the Most High to be poured into you by the priests and prophets here in Isupk, you understand?
Right.
Fear God and keep His commandments, man. For this is the duty of man. What man is this the duty of? This is the duty for every Israelite man. Every black, Hispanic, and Native American man, this is our duty. Not only to the Most High, this is our duty to our nation, man.
Right.
fear the Most High, and keep His commandments. And with that, I want to say Shalom Israel, Shalom Bmore, you understand? We're going to bring up Officer of 1,000, man, Natazal, for reading of the security announcements. Shalom.
Security announcement. We are the Isupk, coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves for the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from their head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which a brother or sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, a brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry ties, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew, and is pronounced ma'ashra. 10% of every penny increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or Tisha. Priest funds, free will offering, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you like to give. Upcoming holy convocation, the Feast of Purim, it's in February 9th. Check your schools for further details. Remind every Akim and Aquathium to check on social media such as Isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for Isupk events and material. If a brother wants to become a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black boots. Start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headbands, and scarves. And with that, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher.
May the Israel, my Shabbat, Mani, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barak Dub,
Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbat,
Yahweh Class dismissed.